Good morning, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be oil on the old Dodge Ram today. We're going to do the engine and the transmission oil and filter. So just like when I painted the truck, I'm going to have to let the air out of the tires a little bit to clear the garage here. Hey, look, it's Jace. Say hi, Jace.
Hi.
All right. And we are in. All right, I'm letting it get up to temperature now. So the oil gets a little warm before I drain it. I'm gonna do the motor first, followed by the transmission. Give you a little tour here. It says 6.6 quarts of transmission fluid, but I did put the diesel oil cooler. So I'm gonna add a little bit more than 6.6. I got 7 quarts to do the job, but let me give you guys a look at how the paint job's holding up still. Hanging in there. If you're enjoying this content so far, please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. All right, whenever I do my oil on any of my vehicles, I like to write down, pretty handy little tip here, I write down my oil plug size. So it's a 1/2 inch oil or 1/2 inch wrench for this truck. And when I did the transmission fluid last time, I put a new pan on it that has a drain plug, and that's a 3/4 inch. The engine oil we're going to be using today is from Walmart, Supertech 5W30 full synthetic. I've been using their oil for a while now, since I've had this truck. No issues. It's good oil. I've looked it up on Bob the oil guy, I think it was, but I've got my wrenches set up here, got a blanket down because it's going to get under there and start draining it. Got my drain pan ready. Let's go. Alright, I'm under the truck now, and this truck's got an 8-inch lift kit on it, and it becomes quite a pain in the ass sometimes when you're doing the oil because the drain pan is so far away from, or the drain catch pan is so far away from the oil pan. I'm going to space it with this jug of motor oil in hopes that it gets me closer, because man, this always turns messy. The oil stream will ricochet out somehow and end up on the floor. I'll do the best I can. If you got any ideas on this, comment below. But I guess I could put a little valve on there, but I don't trust that stuff. But anyway, let's get going. Alright, and as expected, it just rocketed over the side of the pan, all over the floor. So, but we caught most of it. Alright, we're draining the transmission fluid. Fluid's pretty, looks pretty good. But this truck, whenever it's being used, it's pulling a 9,500 pound trailer dry. So this is probably not needed. It's been maybe 10,000 miles since I did the last one. But like I said, I'm doing it probably for that good feeling of knowing that it's new oil. But at least I know it's new oil. And with Dodge's reputation of transmissions, it's probably better to do this. Alright, it's time to do the oil filter now for the engine. And I do like the Hemis give you this this little drain lip underneath the filter, so when you loosen the oil filter, the oil will drip out off of this. That's very nice of them to do that. But unfortunately, it drips right onto the control arm. Oh well, can't have everything, but let's get that off. And to take that off, I'm going to use my universal little oil filter wrench. Pretty cool. Alright, let's go. Oil filter's off and draining. And I think the factory filter for a Dodge Ram 5.7 Hemi is a DG16. And if you want a deeper filter, you can use the PH8A. Same filter, just deeper. But that's not the filter I'm putting in. I think Valvoline was on sale, so I grabbed a Valvoline filter. And when I took my filter off, the O-ring gasket that's normally supposed to stay in the filter was stuck on the housing up there. make sure you take that off. That's a big, commonly missed item. People will not see that, put the new filter on, and then a couple weeks later they got an oil leak and they can't figure out why. It's because that old gasket was still up there, and when they put the new filter on, it kind of walked it off sideways, and it'll leak between the two gaskets. But just make sure that ring is nice and pretty. Alright, engine oil is done. Got it all topped off. I checked the air filter while I was there. Clean. We're going to move on to transmission pan now. Not sponsored Rockstar, but it would be awesome. Okay, so we're going to get back under here, and we're going to take the bolts out. I'll show you. So on the pan, we've got these bolts that hold it on. I think they're an M8. I have to check. Take them all out, all the way around, without, be careful not to tear my wire on my heating pad here, but wipe the pan out, clean the gasket material off. I don't use gaskets that come with the kit. I use RTV, the ultra gray RTV to be exact. I like that stuff. I've had good results with it. Actually, you can see it oozed out here. A little bit squished out there. That stuff's amazing. I forgot what mechanic turned me onto that. Might have even been my brother, Eugene Webb. He does all this stuff. He's awesome. I look up to that guy. Alright, let's go. Let's keep going. Alright, we got the pan down. And that's what she looks like. Got a spin-on filter and a, I don't know what type of filter, a cartridge filter. Change those. Clean the gasket mating surface up. Get it all nice and dry. Wipe it off with some brake clean. And do the same with the pan. The gasket surface here on the pan. Get it all ready. Alright, let's go clean off your gasket material from the surface here on the pan and the transmission. You could either use a drill with a cup wheel in it, just what I'm doing on this pan. But the last time I had my rotary tool with a air compressor rotary tool, turns a lot higher RPM and it makes it a lot easier. That's how I'm going to do the transmission. But the pan, I'm going to do this drill. You just kind of hold it flat, go along the whole edge, and then the pan has this recessed area, but you want to make sure you get all that stuff out of there too. And then the new layer of RTV, when you put it on, you go around your bolt holes all the way around them, and then continue around, continue all the way around. Let it get tacky before putting it up against the transmission. Probably 10 minutes. Slap it up there and bolt it up and do the cross torque pattern, and it'll be good to go. But I gotta obviously gonna wipe all this out, get it all clean, and then we'll move on to the transmission. This is the other option. This is connected to my 60-gallon shop vac, which not everybody has, which is why I gave you the drill option, which does work, just takes a little more time. But this one does it a lot better and easier and doesn't try and get away from you. But see if I could do it while I'm holding the camera. Like that, a lot better. Alright, moving on to the pan, or the transmission. Let me see if I can give you a little demo of this. And then, like I said, you're going to want to wash all of this out with a solvent so that you don't get any of it inside the transmission. And when this is spinning, I'm going to try and keep it positioned to where it's flicking the stuff away from the inside of the transmission. So you want to keep the right side of the wheel and keep the left side off of it, keep the right side on so it throws it out this way. Oh, we didn't even see any of that. Oh well, let's see. need both hands, so just want to give you a little video showing how good that works. Okay, it's washed. Now I'm going to change the filters. Wipe off the gasket material area again with a clean paper towel with some carburetor or brake clean on it again. That way it dries nice and dirt free and oil free. Mainly, you don't want any oil on it. So when that RTV, the gray, ultra gray RTV, when that contacts it, it doesn't have oil. Otherwise it'll leak there, potentially. Okay. It's washed. Now I'm going to change the filters. Wipe off the gasket material area again with a clean paper towel with some carburetor or brake clean on it again. That way it dries nice and dirt free and oil free. Mainly, you don't want any oil on it. So when that RTV, the gray, ultra gray RTV, when that contacts it, it doesn't have oil. Otherwise it'll leak there, potentially. Alright, so the transmission filter inside the transmission has a new seal. This kit comes with a new seal that goes here. It doesn't go here. It goes in the transmission. And once you get the old one out with a screwdriver, to drive this one in, I'll show you my little hack I use. I'm sure a lot of people do it. They use a socket. Find a socket that's roughly the same size, put it on there and smack it in with a hammer. But what I do differently is I take my socket off and I flip it around, because this side's a lot flatter than this ring area and it could walk off, potentially damage that seal. But if you got that flat side against it, I mean, that's great. So that's what we want. And if you put your socket, your extension back in your socket backwards, yes, it's a little shorter. If you need more length, just get a longer extension, but this gives you a better surface area against your new seal. The transmission oil of choice today is from O'Reilly. No sponsor. ATF plus 4 full synthetic, because it was the cheapest. And Permatex ultra gray RTV gasket maker for the transmission pan. I do not use, this was the kit that mine required. Almost fell down there. I don't use this gasket that comes with the kit. Some people probably do, and they might have good luck with it, but I don't want to take a chance. It seems like it always leaks past, and if you don't get your bolts exactly torqued the same, you know, you'll have less pressure on one side of this gasket, which will start leaking. Heat cycles, I'm sure, affect this. It feels cheap. It feels more like plastic than rubber. But anyway, throw that over there. All right, gasket material is tacky. Put the pan back on. Got the bolts all torqued. Well, hand torqued. Sensible hand. I ran them up with an impact until it clicked a couple times on all of them, and then I took a ratchet and just felt all of them. You know, do this one, do that one, do this one, do that one. Do a cross pattern, they call it, until you get them all snug and all feel about the same. You're not holding a house together, you're just holding the pan on, so don't crank them crazy tight. But that's it. We're gonna re-secure the little wire up here to go up front for the pan heater. Throw some oil in it, start her up, check fluid levels, and we'll be ready for this Michigan camping trip. About 3.5 hour pull, and it's pretty hot, so at least I know my oils are good. I've already checked the diffs. Front and rear are good. Front's a little over full, but that's all right. All right, let's get this cleaned up and put some oil in it. Nice new oil. Well, that's it, guys. She's all full. New fluid everywhere. We're good to go. I just got to clean up my tools and stuff. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and you can do this. It's pretty easy. All vehicles are pretty similar when it comes to an oil change, but the transmission part is the one that gets a little tricky. So if you're not comfortable tackling something like this, obviously you're going to get oil on the floor. Unless you cover the whole damn floor with moving blankets or cardboard, I don't know of a way to not get oil on the floor. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'm going to leave the comments open on this one. If you guys got any tips or tricks, I'm all ears. I'd love to hear your guys' ideas and thoughts on any easier ways to do this. But I appreciate the subscription. If you guys like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much. Some bonus footage for you guys. I've done this before. I'm going to see if it works this time. On my garage floor, you see my oil spill. I've already wiped it up with brake cleaner, but it doesn't look any different. I'm going to heat it with a torch, and when it dries, I think it goes away. We'll check it out. I'm going to do it now and then come back. You could actually see it going away behind the torch. I don't know how this works, but it works. I'm gonna do a line right here. Anyway, I hope that helps. Thanks, guys.